Okay, we are live. Can everybody hear me and see me okay? Let me know if the audio and video sounds okay, because it looks a little weird on my end. All right. All right, Duck Vision's here. I see you here. All right, people. Good to see everybody. Another live stream. Didn't have one last week, so we'll see how this one goes. A lot of interesting stuff. We have a potential guest today, Michael Pepper Talk. He has the Samsung Galaxy Book 360 also in his possession as well. Good morning, Handquake. Stat Veek. Van Lee just sold his Dell because it broke. Merrick. Jeff, good to see you. William. Duck Vision, I said hello. So I said hello to you guys. All right. Okay, it's good to see everybody. It's Andrew again with another live stream. If you're streaming in 1080p, make sure you hit the live chat instead of the top chat. Of course, we're doing this at 1080p, 60 frames per second. I just want to say hello to everybody. I didn't do a live stream last week. It was just too busy trying to get out. I'm being inundated with all these new laptops and so forth, including the Samsung Galaxy Book Pro 360 that I just took delivery of. I did an unboxing and first look video. And I also did a video on the Dell XPS 13 9300. And that has that absolutely gorgeous OLED display. And I also have some other stuff coming up, but I wanted to focus on those two OLED panels. One is a Super AMOLED panel, and we can see it here. On the left is the Super AMOLED panel, 1080p, 16:9. And on the right is the Dell XPS 13 with that OLED panel, a 3.5K display. So we're going to get into that on the second part. We're going to start off with the Samsung Galaxy Book Pro 360. Now, I have the 13-inch one, and this one obviously has that Super AMOLED display, and it has a 13.3-inch 1920 by 1080, as I mentioned. Not the brightest display. I think I measured about 285 nits on this, less than 300. Not great, but the battery life is great, and I'll talk more about that in my full review. Yeah, Jeff, I'm not going to let what's happening with Samsung with my Fold 2 repair, and we'll talk about that later, affect the channel in that way. So I just thought, you know what, let's still review it. And it's doing okay. The video is doing okay. So we'll see how that all will play out. But let's bring in Michael from Michael Pepper Tech, he has it. He has some interesting takes on it. I hope this will work out well because he may have a little delay on his part. We were trying to do this. So I'm going to add him onto the stream here. Good to see Michael.
Howdy. Howdy.
Oh, yeah, I definitely hear the delay. Hold on.
Well.
Okay, so, yeah, I definitely can hear it. So it must be coming from your computer, I think. Well, let's see now. People, bear with us.
Now let's see if it's there.
I don't hear it. Perfect. It sounds good to me.
Now I hear it on my end, which is weird.
So now you get an echo. All right. So do your best you can. What do you think about the Samsung Galaxy Book Pro 360? Tell us which one you have, what your thoughts about it are, and then we'll go from there. So he hears it also, Duck Vision. Echo. I guess we can hear him, so delay doesn't matter. Yeah, so they're hearing the delay, Michael.
Okay, that is strange.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why. They just say keep going. They're fine with it.
Okay. Well, my opinion on the 360 is that so I got the spec out model, the top end, 16 gigs of RAM, 512 gigs of storage, i7, the top model you get the 13-inch. And well, I think what it does really well. There's a few issues I have as far as price concern, especially given, and I know this doesn't sound bad, but when you have something like this at $9.99, and I feel like performs really well. I mean, I can you have one more port on the 360 than you do on the MacBook, and you get the micro SD card slot, which is really nice because you can throw a 1 or 2 terabyte SD card in there potentially. You can open it up and expand the storage if you want. No memory's locked in. The display is 1080p, but it's got that beautiful OLED, and I don't think the resolution bothers me at all. And the pen has been really nice. I do find it a bit ironic that it actually sticks to the back of my MacBook better than it's stuck to the back of the 360 itself, which is kind of funny. The microphones sound really good on it. The webcam is just like any other 720p webcam on pretty much any laptop I've used. You got that. It can't handle light, but then if you put it in too dark of a situation, it's really grainy. Performance-wise, it's okay, but I feel like they've held the processor back. I've done some benchmarks things and compared it, and it's about 20% less on multi-core. And I've seen it anywhere from 30 to 40% lower on single-core scores. And using other laptops that have the same processor, I'm talking about plugged-in performance modes, fans are running high. That's the one thing, though, it's really quiet. And if you're just doing web browsing, basic tasks, then
actually, let me stop you for that. They say the echo is really bad. So what we're going to do is this. I might be able to have you come on via the my call-in feature, but that was connected to my Samsung Galaxy Fold 2, so I don't think I'm set up for a phone call yet. But the echo is really bad, so Mike, unfortunately, they're not going to be able to do it. If you want to call in, we might be able to do that later, but I'd have to set up a new phone on that, and I don't know if I can get that set up in time. So I know the delay is killing the stream here because the people are telling me this. All right, so I think what we're going to do, Michael, is we're going to have you come back on when we're set up properly, because this is not, I guess it's just not working. Okay? So I'm so sorry, Michael, but this just is, it's my fault, I guess, because I'm not really sure if it's Ecamm Live or it's on your end, but we'll figure it out. All right, Mike? But we'll have you on soon. Okay? So we'll see you very soon. So I'm sorry about that, people. Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me okay? I feel bad because the guy is really a good guy and he really knows his stuff. So I was hoping to have him on. All right. So along the lines of what he's been saying, I agree with a lot of the stuff he's been saying. Now, my biggest gripe is going to be with the display. I love the display, but the problem is the brightness. It just doesn't get bright enough. And to top it all off, you have a very glossy display, and you can see it here. This is very glossy, and you cannot use this outdoors. At least in my opinion, you cannot. You cannot get it bright enough. That's just the problem. And I think they did it for battery life, and battery life has been fantastic. You'll hear it in my review, but I can tell you what I got on my web surfing test that I normally do, the most recent test. An unbelievable 17 hours and 6 minutes. So that would mean in real world use with mixed use, you're looking at about 12 to 15 hours, depending on what you're doing. So I understand why they did go with a 300 nit display. And again, I'm only measuring 285. They wanted to avoid the situation they had with the Chromebook when they had that Chromebook feature on that red Chromebook that they did, that fire red, and they had that AMOLED display, and it was a beautiful display, but it got atrocious battery life. So I think they were trying to avoid that to definitely do that. So, and now as far as the processing power and all that, this has the Core i7-1165G7. I didn't find it 40% less that Michael did, but it did have a less than I've seen in others, and that might be due to the thermal constraints of this design. Remember, this is a very thin and light design. I mean, you can see here just how thin and light it is. It is just unbelievably thin, incredibly thin. In fact, they don't even have a silo for the pen, and that's another thing that a little gripe of mine. There's nowhere to keep the pen on this. You gotta put it on the lid. They want you to attach it magnetically, and it'll stay there. It'll stay there, but you know, it's not coming off. But it's not the most secure, and especially if you throw it in a bag, that's not going to be great in that regard. So I'm not crazy about this as far as the pen solution on this. Now the pen itself works really well. You can see it here. It's got pretty good pressure sensitivity using the Wacom EMR technology. I think it has 4,096 levels of pressure sensitivity. You can see it there. I like the pen. I do like the way it inks, and I do like the way it uses, as far as pressure sensitivity, as I mentioned. It does feel comfortable in the hand, but it can't be stored in the device, which you could do in other iterations. Now, the blue color, let's talk about that in a moment. This is that beautiful Mystic Blue, and I got to say, it is absolutely beautiful. It's a really nice all-metal design and very thin and light. It's a very thin laptop and a very light laptop, like 2.4 pounds or whatever it is. Very, very good. Now, Michael is saying battery life has improved. I got very good battery life on mine. One of my complaints was the 25 software updates. Yeah, there was a lot of out-of-the-box things that needed to be updated, and they sacrificed that screen brightness for battery life. So that is definitely a negative in my book. Now, don't get me wrong. This is still a beautiful display, and as we bring it up here, it's still a gorgeous Super AMOLED display, so you're getting those really inky blacks and the deep colors and the vibrant colors and so forth. If I can get into focus here. If we can get it into focus, let's see. Not this camera for some reason. We'll switch cameras. Okay, we could use it over here. It's a beautiful display. It's got everything you need. Let's switch it over here. Very, very good. 285 I measured. 285 Grendel. Not great. Now, there we go. Got it into focus. So, as you can see here, the highly, highly reflective display. All right, let's talk about the webcam for a moment. Now, this has a 720p webcam. And if you can avoid the glare here, you can sort of see how it is. It's a little grainy. Let me make sure it's not dirty. So let's wipe it off. And still looks pretty bad. It's not the greatest camera, as you can see. And I don't remember. Is it Windows Hello? I don't even remember. I know the power button doubles as a fingerprint scanner. Let's go to the accounts. Sign in options. Windows Hello. There is no compatible camera. That's right. That's right. This one does not have it. So you cannot log in with Windows Hello. You could use this for Zoom and for Skype and everything you need to do. Now, there are, if you notice here on the bottom here, there are some, and it is a wobbly, yes. There are some beauty features. So if I hit beauty mode, it sort of smooths things out. Custom, you got clean, you got natural, you got the beauty filter. So it looks terrible either way. Maybe it's the model here. So not very good. The reflection is bad. Screen wobble is bad. I wanted to like this a lot, to be honest with you. I really want to like this a lot. It's not a bad laptop. Let's just be honest. I mean, it still has a nice, beautiful display despite the brightness issues. And does the chassis flex? Yeah. So that's the other thing. It's not the most, and you can sort of see it here. There's a little give, and I showed it in the video. There's a little give on the chassis here. And if you you can sort of see it there. Not the most rigid design. And again, it's just too thin, maybe, I'm thinking. Yeah, the fingerprint worked well. The fingerprint worked well, Michael. So that is a laptop that they should have maybe held out before they released it. And it's so glossy that it's hard for this to focus. Just keep in focus here. Maybe I'm too far from it. Hold on. Give me a second. I want to fix this camera. It's bothering me. Oh, we're just wrought with technical difficulties today. That's a little bit better, right? So Jed is bringing up a good point here. Low nits, highly reflective displays, not good combo. Absolutely agree. Couldn't one always just turn the brightness down if you want better battery life? Yes, but I think they went overkill here, and especially with that bad experience they had with battery on that Chromebook. So the Samsung Chromebook that really just was a terrible battery life. Gorgeous display. They used that Super AMOLED display. The wobble, William, really bad. And when you use the pen on it, you can sort of see it. But, of course, it is a convertible, so you can put it into different modes here. You got the tent mode, and then, of course, you got stand mode here. And then, of course, you can use it as a tablet like that. And it's pretty light, so using it as a tablet is not that bad, and you can use the pen with it. Can you open it with one finger? Let's try it again. I didn't have a good success on that other table I have. Yes, you can open it. So I was a little bit wrong on that one. I tried to open it, but it was sliding around, but I think it was that very slippery surface of my other desk. It's not a $12.99 or even $9.99. In Michael's opinion, the keyboard would have been great to type on and just for. I wish they'd gone AMD, lower TPU, still would perform great. I agree. The performance has been so-so. Let's be honest. The performance has been so-so. I do like the Flex from last year better. Now, the other thing that, and I don't know if you want to call it a criticism, they kept it as 16:9. I'm okay with the 1080p, by the way. I just wish it was brighter. The Flex from last year used a QLED display. I'm not sure if there was a supply constraint, so they didn't go with that this time, or I'm just not really sure what was their thinking on going with the Super AMOLED instead. I thought the QLED was a better option, I think, for brightness, in that, at least in that one. And I just think this is just too dim. And I think that was the big issue that we've had last year. I mean, this year, we didn't have that dimness last year. I don't remember it being, the flex being any less bright than this year, or less bright last year. So really what it comes down to is, are you willing to live with these sacrifices with a 16:9 aspect ratio, which of course is good for consuming media, watching Netflix, Amazon, and YouTube, or would you prefer a 16:10, which just seems to be the trend here in 2021? So 16:10 would definitely be better. That is for sure. Now, if you want to see an OLED done right, let's bring on our next laptop. And we'll put this one to the side. And I'll keep this one plugged in because I want to show you the HDR on this, and it has to be plugged in for it to be in a full effect, I believe. So, and again, my camera is just not behaving today. There it is. Okay, so this is the Dell XPS 139310, as you can see here, with that beautiful Arctic finish, frost white on the outside, Arctic white on the inside, that glass woven interior. Absolutely gorgeous. This is a OLED display, as I mentioned, a 3.5K display, not quite 4K, but it is a very beautiful display. Now, this is a 400 nit display, and it gets pretty close. I think I got 398 actually on the measurements. OLED displays tend to not go as bright as some others, and again, battery life will certainly be much better. And again, brightness will take a hit on the battery life. Does the touchpad crack when you lift it with both hands and press down with your fingers? I don't know which one you're talking about. Are you talking about this one? We're talking about this one right now. This has a glass touchpad, absolutely gorgeous. It works fine. It's very, and I would say very responsive. Overkill on the display. Battery life, I got pretty good battery life, over 8 hours. I think I got 8 hours and 44 minutes in total on my continuous web surfing test. Now this has and we can bring up my video here. This has, and we could do a search, Dell XPS 13 OLED 9310, and of course I'm the #1 on that, which is great. Turn off the sound, and you can see here, I mean, it's just absolutely gorgeous, 4K, and there you go. So really, absolutely gorgeous. It's hard to show it. Now, this does have an anti-reflective coating, but it does show some reflections, as you see there. Dell did it right. I think they did. And the other thing I noticed is I don't notice any of that mesh layer that we saw on the HPs that I noticed. This doesn't have it. So I think this is a well-done implementation as far as OLED is concerned. Absolutely beautiful laptop. And I think this might be one of the best displays I've ever seen. I mean, I'm not trying to exaggerate here. It's absolutely true. I think this might be the creme de la creme, so to speak, of these displays. Somebody asked me, is the MacBook better in terms of displays? And I said, absolutely not. This is a much better display than the MacBook. I'm sorry. Yes. Hey, Robert, how are you? Good to see you, my friend. Yes, you're agreeing with Jeff. Dell has a really nice displays on this. Battery life, again, as I mentioned, surprisingly decent, despite the fact that it's OLED. Now, this is running the Intel Core i7-1185G7. And I have the Spectre 14 here. We can look at it as well on the OLED version of that. It has, I lost my train of thought, but the bottom line is this has the Core i7-1185G7, a little bit better performance, incrementally better, not revolutionary better, as I mentioned, than the Core i7-1165G7. Iris Xe graphics are really good. I still need to do some testing on thermals on this. But really, I thought pretty decent performance considering how thin and light this is. The fans are not particularly loud on this, which is good. You can upgrade the RAM, as I showed in the video, and you cannot, I'm sorry, strike that. You can upgrade the SSD, which is what I meant to say. The RAM is not upgradable, of course. It's soldered in, as is the Wi-Fi card and the Bluetooth combo card. So you cannot upgrade that. They are Wi-Fi 6, so that's good. Bluetooth 5.1. Thermals are pretty decent. You will notice some throttling under heavy load, but that is not atypical, of course, of such a thin and light laptop, but nothing terrible. Nothing terrible. I know you don't like their logo, right, Duck? So here it is, Dell XPS 13. We don't need that now. This is the Dell logo. Some people would rather have an XPS logo. I could definitely see where that definitely comes into play. Fly Guy in the house. How are you, my friend? You made it here. Nice to see you. 3.5 OLED or 4K OLED? This is 3.5K, and I gotta say, I don't notice a difference. I'm running this video at 4K right now. I don't really notice a difference with a 4K display. It's 3.5. I think most people wouldn't be able to notice it, to be honest. Cameron is curious as to how the XPS 13 OLED compares to the new 12-inch iPad Pro mini LED side by side. Now, that's running a mini LED, which can get brighter, from what I understand. I don't have that 12.9 in the studio. I don't know if I'm going to be getting it. I might. We'll see. But I think what you're getting with this might be a little bit different. Obviously, it's not going to be as bright as that iPad, but I haven't seen one, so I really can't comment. But from what I hear, it looks nice. But I heard it doesn't look that much better than the 2020 model. But again, I guess I'm just hearing from hearsay. I don't have anything to back that up. Remember to hit the thumbs up button. Thank you, Jed. I appreciate that. Yes, hit that thumbs up, people. Thumbs up button, people, as we can get this spread out of YouTube. It's Andrew. We're now 27 minutes into the live stream. Time goes by when you're having fun, of course. Super chats are open. Super stickers are open. Everything helping out the channel. Memberships. I want to thank everybody who stopped by for that members only live stream we did. It was a lot of fun. I'm going to do another one very soon. So stay tuned. If you want to become a member, hit that join button below. So if you can look over here, and let's get to the right camera here. You can see the webcam. I showed it in the video here. Not bad, not bad, not the best I've ever seen, not the worst I've ever seen. They're just, and OEMs in general, I think, need to step up their game when it comes to the webcam. Not very good as far as I'm concerned. Is this laptop hot while gaming? No, it stayed pretty cool. I think they've done a good job as far as surface temperatures. It will throttle down a bit, but that is to be expected. So there you go. And how are you doing, Dan? How you doing, my friend? On a 13-inch, I agree, whether it be 4K or 3.5K, it's not going to make a difference. Not going to make a difference. So we have 66 of you watching. We have 50 likes. Let's get that like button up. What is the port config? Okay, that's a good question. So if we take a look here, we got 2 Thunderbolt, and if we can get it in focus here, let's try this one. We get one over there, and then another one over there. So 2 Thunderbolt 4, and then you get a micro SD card reader. And that's it. No USB-A port. I think there is in the box a dongle that gives you the USB-A port. I don't know what other ports it might give you, but not on the device itself. So if you're going to want to have some extra ports, you'll be living the dongle life. Now, as far as Fly Guy, what he's saying here, in my opinion, super impressed with the Dell. Incredible displays. Absolutely gorgeous display on this. It's a 16:9 aspect ratio. You can see my dog Max in the background. came to say hi. And of course you can get it in that traditional silver with that black carbon fiber deck, or of course with that glass woven white interior, which I absolutely love. At least the Thunderbolt ports are on opposite sides of each other, and I mentioned that in the video, Jet. Yes, I like that. This way you're not all bunched up in one location. Yeah, he's a good boy. He just came down to see what's going on. All right, so And so that's where we are. We had the 2 videos this week, the Surface. Oh, and then I did the Surface Laptop 4, my 30-day review. Very interesting results, as I mentioned in that video, of different performance with that AMD Ryzen 4680U from when you're plugged in, when you're unplugged. Very, very interesting stuff. Thank you to Rico Alexander for a $5 super chat. Waiting on the new 15 and 17 XPS. Any word on release of those? I don't have any word on it, but because we're seeing this one right now, Rico, I think we're going to be seeing them very soon. I don't have any information on them as of yet, but once I do, and if I'm not under embargo, then I will let everybody know. I anticipate, of course, getting them into the studio when they are indeed released, and I will give it my full treatment as I normally do. Now, we're going to probably see the same exterior. I'm not expecting a lot of different changes externally, but we will see those H series processors. We will see hopefully good upgrades in GPUs. But again, we need to definitely do that. Yeah, Jet, they're all there. You can check it out. And of course, this live stream will also be part of my playlist. I now put the live streams on my 2021 live stream playlist. So there you go. Listen to Handquake because he's right. Maybe switch to live chat instead of top chat. This way you'll hear things, you'll get them in real time. So there you go. The Dongle Life laptop, because I need so many wires to connect to my 4 displays. Yeah, unfortunately, that's where we're living in the current situation with all laptops pretty much, with some exceptions, of course. But Dongle Life is definitely part of the equation since everybody followed Apple's lead in getting rid of most of the most useful ports. All right, so 67 of you watching. I hope everybody had a good week, and I'm glad to be able to do this live stream. Wasn't able to do it last week, so was able to jump on here today. Any information on the Lenovo ThinkBook 14 or 16P and IdeaPad Pro 14 or 16? Not yet. I'm waiting on Lenovo for those, so as soon as I get anything, we'll have to see. No, Rico, this is a 16:10 aspect ratio. And what's making this pretty unique, and let's bring it over here, 16:10 aspect ratio for a OLED display and a 13.4-inch display. Very, very uncommon, obviously. We might start seeing them now, obviously, that Dell's doing it. That's why they didn't do it last year on the 9310 when it was first released. They went with an IPS panel, which, by the way, was pretty gorgeous. Pretty gorgeous. So really, really very good. Very good stuff. Thank you, by the way, for that super chat. Christopher, both together. So OLED or 4K display on the XPS 13. I don't think you can go wrong on either one. I think you'll do better on battery life on the IPS display, but we'll have to see. But I think this OLED actually did pretty well. And let's go back to that again. It did pretty well, as you saw from the numbers. 8 hours and 44 minutes on my continuous web surfing test over Wi-Fi. It was actually more than the HP. And I have the HP here, and we could bring that on. Hold on. So this is the 14-inch X360, the Spectre line. And this is an OLED panel, 3000 by 2000. And you can see the difference here between a 3:2 and a 16:10 aspect ratio. So what you can see here, of course, is a little bit different implementation. Of course, a taller nature of that 3:2 as opposed to the 16:10. Both are very good. I think this is becoming more popular, but I like the 3:2. So there you go. Surface 4 needs, and I talked about it a little bit in the video, quite a bit about it in the video actually that I just released. The Surface 4 needs a refresh in design. I liked it a couple of years ago, but I think they need to upgrade the exterior, slim out those bezels. Fly Guy is eagerly awaiting the delivery of his Dell OLED. I guess you got the one I got this week, and I was just worried about battery life, but it's okay. I've read several reviews. It is okay. You should be fine. Of course, it all depends on what you're doing, Fly Guy, with that laptop, so that will affect battery life. But I've noticed that if you, of course, have a black background or a dark background, that definitely improves battery life. With an OLED panel, that is pretty much the rule of thumb. So if you want to get better battery life, use dark backgrounds, use dark mode. And the other thing to remember on that is brightness. You can turn it down a little bit. You'll get a little bit better and employ battery saving measures. But I did 8 hours and 44 minutes on my continuous web surfing test over Wi-Fi at 150 nits. And I noticed pretty good battery life. So mixed use, 6 to 8 hours, again, depending on what you're doing. Not bad for an OLED panel. And of course, this is rocking the Core i7-1185G7, so that has worked out pretty well. Okay, not bad at all. How are the webcams? I showed it a little bit earlier. I showed it in the video. Not great on either one of these. This is the HP. Let's take a look at the webcam a little bit. Haven't looked at it in a while. And then, of course, we have this one here. And you can see here, let's get these on full screen here. We'll get a lot of studio lights here, so keep that in mind. I mean, the 720p webcams, let's be honest. They're not going to be great, either one. They're both Windows Hello, and they're both adequate to do Zoom and to do work from home needs, but is it... do you think it's really good? I mean, in 2021, no, I think they need to make these better. I think we need 1080p webcams. Can you show the next to a 14-inch 16:9? I have one here somewhere. I'd have to look for. I think I might have sent it back. The HP NV14. That would have been. I don't remember if that's 16:10 or 16:9. I can't remember. Too many laptops. Too little time. Surface webcam was not too bad, according to Jeff. I agree. Microsoft must have done something to make it look decent. Yeah, Microsoft has done a decent job with their webcams, especially on the Surface Book, which I have. The original one is fantastic. And they also did a great job on their Surface Pro line. Really good. Excuse me. But the one on the Surface Laptop 4, I thought it was okay. It's better than what we're seeing with some of these other OEMs. Microsoft knows how to do good webcams, that's for sure. I'm glad you like it, Pavalini. Good to see you join us. Have been using my 2017 laptop with 64 gigabytes of storage, so I need to upgrade now. Yeah, I mean, it's a good time to upgrade because there are a lot of good stuff out there. William is saying, let's face it, the 720p webcams are a mediocre class. They should go 1080p. From what I understand, William, that Dragonfly Max from the HP Elite line that's coming out, we should be seeing it soon, is going to have a beautiful 5-megapixel webcam, which is going to be 1080p, and it's going to be super, super good from what I understand. So that's going to be coming soon. We don't have it yet, but I'm looking forward to that one. You know what? I guess if you run something over and over and over for hours upon hours upon hours, maybe there might be some burn-in. I have not experienced it on my laptops, but again, it might be there. Some people might experience it, but I'm just telling you what I did. There was no live stream, Raphael, last week. I couldn't do one. I had to catch up on reviews, so thank you for reminding everybody, but I'm glad you were able to be here today. Maybe that will be the start of something new. I think we're starting to see it. And again, in all fairness to these OEMs, people are complaining, why aren't they bringing in better webcams? Why are they not increasing them, especially during the pandemic? We need better webcams when we're working from home. I think they know that. Obviously, they know that. I've spoken to them, but the problem is the turnaround time, the supply issues the pandemic caused. To do this stuff from R&D to production to finally getting it into retail takes I think it's about 2-year cycle. So they were not prepared for this when the pandemic hit. So now we're seeing the effects of chip shortages, of all these laptop shortages, prices increasing, of course, as a result of supply and demand. And there you go. I don't care about webcams since I don't turn on mine, but great to hear. Yeah, Rico, some people have they feel the same way. So these are two OLED displays, 3:2 aspect ratio, 3000 by 2000 on the Spectre HP Spectre X360 14. And of course, and this is a 13.5 inch display, not 14, but they call it the 14. And then this is the Dell XPS 13 9310 with that new OLED panel, which is absolutely gorgeous, 16:10. I think it's 3456 by 2160, 3.5K display. All right. Grendel, a lot of people feel that way, but I think most people feel that the webcam has become a very important feature, especially when we're working from home. Now, you might not fall in that category, I don't know, but the quality is important. You don't want to look like terrible when you're doing meetings. You want to present yourself in the best possible way. And of course, having more clarity, better audio, better video certainly helps. Jeff, it must be a supply issue. Either they can't get 1080p easily yet, or they have a ton of 720p to use up. It could be a supply issue. I have a feeling it's a supply issue, and it's a combination of both. I think they might have 720p they need to get rid of. So that might be the reason. Does Dell have a webcam shutter? No webcam shutter, and as I mentioned, is one of the cons, of course. No webcam shutter on the Dell, or at least not a physical one, but I think you might be able to turn it off in the taskbar, or I'm not sure even that. I'm not sure. But no physical shutter switch. This, of course, does have the kill switch on the HP. I think it's on the keyboard now. That's right. So they have that kill switch right there. It is this one right here, and you can see there if I press it, it's right here, and you can see it on and off, and it turns silver when it's employed. All right, why does so many laptops have a 720p webcam? Maybe a 1080p would be great for Zoom meetings. That is my point I was trying to make, Fan. Absolutely. Everyone has been howling about the poor webcams. Hopefully they'll make the difference. I agree, Fly Guy. All right, man. Thank you. I appreciate it, Sri. Thank you. Keep up the good work. I will. I'll do my best. Can you tell which has better speakers between the both? These are really good on the Dell. I would say they're pretty much on par with each other. They're both pretty good. I didn't find them one particularly better than the other. These are portable laptops. You're not going to get the best. I mean, I think Apple, of course, has done the best, but these are pretty good, pretty decent between the two. I don't know if one is particularly better than the other. What's your opinion on the new iMacs? I saw a few videos out there. I only watched a couple of them. I'm not that interested, to be honest with you on that. The new iMacs, I'm not a big fan of that white bezel on the front and the big chin on the bottom. I was hoping they would thin it out, make it look more modern, more like their XDR display. Maybe that's for the pro level that they're going to do. Who knows? But I wasn't excited, to be honest with you, and I thought they skimped on the ports. I think you only get two Thunderbolt 4 ports on that, so that's going to be more dongles. No SD card reader, I think, is a big mistake. The display, I've heard some reports that it looks a bit washed out. I'm not sure if it's a defect or manufacturing defect, or who knows, or it's a software issue, or what's going on. But I heard that I think it's a 4.5K display. I don't think it's 5K. It's 4.5, I think. Heard there were some issues, but generally should look nice based on everything I've heard. Not excited. The M1 chip is pretty much the same M1 chip we saw with the MacBook Air, MacBook Pro, and the Mac Mini. I have the Mac Mini M1 here. So not surprising performance out of that. So that's good. That's going to always be good. And there you go. Black tape your webcam shutter. Yes, Jeff. That's one way to get security on that Dell. So Apple, they're going to sell a ton of them. I don't know if they're the biggest sellers when it comes to iMacs, and as far as their lines are concerned. Of course, it might be low on the totem pole for them. I think they do sell some, but I'm not sure if they sell the numbers like they do on the laptops, or certainly not the iPhones or even the iPads. But we'll see what happens. The line is being blurred with the M1 chip. Now they're putting it in pretty much their desktop, their laptops, and of course their tablets with the Mac, the iMac, the iPad Pro. And so there you go. Is the OLED available for purchase? Yes, I left a link in my video yesterday, so check it out if you want to check it out. It's $16.99. I think there might be a sale going on. Robert is saying, I honestly believe it's a supply issue. At least that is what I have heard. 1080p is coming. Yes, Robert, you're correct. 1080p is definitely coming. I know for a fact. So let's just see. Let's reserve judgment when we get some more information until we start seeing these 1080p webcams. Fly guy saying, buy this laptop. You'll be super happy with the purchase, and buy from Andrew's link. It is the best price. Thank you. I appreciate that, Fly guy. Yeah, the Dell is fantastic. They took what was already a great laptop and made it even better. Michael's saying the thinner the lid, the harder that makes it to get a larger sensor into it. I agree. So 1080p would require a thicker lid probably as well. They're going to have to do something to innovate on these, to get those smaller sensors, to get those cameras to be smaller and into these laptops. But we definitely need to see an improvement of quality. Which is better for rough use? I like, they're both pretty rough. They're both pretty solid. Dell is pretty solid. I think they're on par with each other. The new iMacs look kind of goofy in my opinion. I agree. Just not a clean, sophisticated look at all. No, it's a little too, I don't know what the word is. It just doesn't capture my attention. It's just not a design that appeals to me. It's just simple as that. I look at something like this, or even the HP, of course. These give off a sleek amount of look. Look how thin the bezels are. Look how thin it looks, and it looks great. Why would they leave that chin there without any logo or anything? And it just doesn't look good to me, right, Raja? It just doesn't look good. Rico's saying, I like the design on the iMacs, but I don't need a desktop computer. Yeah, and again, it's all a matter of personal preference. It's all subjective, whether or not you like something better than something else. That is, of course, your own prerogative. I just don't get excited about it. Thank you. I appreciate that, Fly Guy. All right, so they look cartoony. Yes, that's a good one. I like that. It looks cartoony. It just doesn't appeal to me. But it might appeal to you. So, again, to each his own. There you go. How about a notch for a webcam? It would also act as a lip to lift the laptop lid. That's not a bad idea. We know that Lenovo's done that on their Yoga line. We've seen that in the before. That reverse notch worked. And it certainly could put a 1080p webcam in there. That might be a great idea. You like that, Robert, right? All right. We had a little bit of technical difficulties early on. We had Michael on. He's a great guy. We'll definitely figure this out. I may just have to use StreamYard for interviews and stuff. We'll see. But I appreciate the effort and coming on, Michael. The new Razer Blade 15 dropping next month with a 1080p webcam. Yeah, we're going to start seeing the rollout of these 1080p webcams as we get towards the latter part of 2021 to start to come into play. Are OLED screens good for outdoors? Yeah, I mean, this is, as long as it gets bright enough, these both definitely get bright enough here. These definitely have enough brightness as far as I'm concerned. This is 400 nits, and I believe this is I don't remember exactly what I got on this one, but definitely bright enough. Was not an issue. Michael's saying, I think the base model iMac will sell a lot because people don't have to buy the most expensive to get decent performance like in the past. That seems to be their approach with the Apple Silicon. Excellent point. I agree 100%. They'll sell a ton of them. It's Apple. It might end up being a bump like the Samsung Galaxy and iPhones have. Yeah, maybe it could be that, but I would have no problem. I would have no problem having a little bump or a notch or whatever, or like a reverse notch that houses a better webcam. I'm tired, and I'll be honest with you, and I know probably better than most, right? I get to review a lot of laptops. I've got so many here that came in this past couple of weeks. 720p after 720p, and I'm getting tired of it. I'm just frustrated by those webcams. They're all the same. They're all the same, pretty much, give or take a few here and there. How reflective is the Dell OLED display versus the HP? So let's take a look. Let's go back to here. So you'll notice some reflection on there. Not bad, especially I got a lot of lights going on here. And then, of course, you have here anti-reflective coating, I think, on both. Not matte displays, but they're not high gloss either. They're pretty good coating as far as that anti-reflection. So not bad. I mean, you'll see it, but again, I have a lot. This is not the ideal environment. You'll notice a little bit more maybe on the Dell, but again, it depends on the angle towards my lights here. So that plays into it. But the new MacBook Pro 14 starts, MacBook Pro 14 starts at $1,800. There's a 14-inch MacBook Pro, Cameron? You mean the 13, or are you hearing something about a 14? Let me know. I love your sound effects, laugh out loud. Yeah, it's funny. It is frustrating, Fly Guy, I agree. What is the best 1,000 gaming laptop of 2021? $1,000. We have, I'm not going to talk about that yet because I have a few coming up that I want to talk about. So there you go. Tal from Israel, how are you? Hope you're doing okay over there. Nice, Jet Martin. What else? Let's see here. The OLED Dell would be extremely expensive in the UK. It's expensive here. It's $16.99. I think it might be on sale. Let me take a look. Let me go to the Dell. Let me go to my link on my video and let me just see what we got as far as price. Because I know they're running some sort of sale. Let me see if it's... so if I hit the link here, and I'm just trying to figure this out here. So I see here the price right now, $17.99, but it depends on which SKU you go with. So I thought it was $16.99 yesterday. So always watch the sites, people. They change they change quite a bit. So they run sales. So if we go, and I can show you my window, and I can show you my window here. You could see it. And it's $17.99. OLED, 13.4-inch OLED. Yeah, $17.99. So hit that link below. Okay. All right. Any issues with keeping it brighter? What? Any issues with keeping its brightness over time? I haven't heard anything of it becoming dimmer. I don't think so. I think it is what it is, and I think it should stay the same. I've never heard of it getting dimmer. Maybe I'm wrong. Dell's pricing changes like airfare. They change daily. Absolutely. Correct, Fly Guy. Again, always check the links, and they'll have the most latest pricing. Dell runs sales, HP runs sales, Lenovo runs sales quite a bit, and you get pretty heavy discounts depending on when you get it. Is it bright enough? Yes, I think it's absolutely bright enough as far as that Dell is concerned. Absolutely. Definitely bright enough. I think if they went any more brighter, then, of course, battery life will come into play. I think they did a nice balance between battery life and screen brightness. So I think they just did the right blend there. Any burn-in? Oh, okay. So burn-in is always going to be an issue with OLED over time. I don't know if that's going to be the case with these, but we'll have to see. Yeah, no, you'll be fine, Fly Guy. You'll definitely be bright enough. Apple advertised mini LED over OLED for maintaining brightness. Yes, mini LED will be brighter. And that's why they're able to tout, I think, 15 or 1600 nits in peak brightness on that new iPad Pro 12.9. However, not all apps will take advantage of that. And of course, the HDR, not all apps will take advantage of that either. So they'll have to optimize that. But it's definitely a right direction that they're going. And I think we're going to start to see more devices with mini LED because it gives you a lot of what the OLED has to offer without the with a little bit brighter, with having more brightness, which is going to be great. Few things excite me, but I'm looking forward to getting this Dell. Yeah, I love it. I think, and again, like I said, they took a great laptop and made it better, in my opinion. Okay, so Dell says, Dell displays look awfully trashy, crazily, goofily poop. What? Come on, Dan. Let's be serious. Okay. Cameron, yeah, for higher sustained brightness with uniform color accuracy, mini LED is better than OLED and more power efficient. Yeah, I mean, that's couldn't have said it better. That is correct. So the brightness is going to be more on that, and there you go. And we got a super chat from Michael Peppertech. Thank you, by the way, Michael, for coming on. As I mentioned, we'll get this figured out. Otherwise, I'll have to use StreamYard. But thank you for that $5. No problem. You are a good friend to the channel. Thank you, Michael. And everybody, check out Michael Pepper Tech, his YouTube channel. Just do a search there. You can follow him on Twitter. Great guy, and I like what he says. I think he's got a lot of good opinions on these stuff, and he's using the stuff like I'm using. So we get a good perspective from him. So thank you, Michael. That's not my experience. I think the displays are the best on Dell. Yeah, I think he was kidding. I think Fan was kidding, because how could you not like this display? I mean, on this one at least, for sure. But Dell does a good job on displays. They really do. Apple is so much better than goofy Dell. Okay, Fan, come on. Just be mature, please. Come on. I'm a fan of OLED, but I like how mini LED displays have better color accuracy. I chose to get a mini LED TCL TV this year instead of OLED. Well, there you go, Duck. And I was looking into mini LEDs. I've got two OLED display from LG, which I absolutely love, in this house. I got a 65, a 55, and I'm getting a bigger one as we're doing our renovation in our house. So you like the OLED, but you like how mini LEDs have better color accuracy. And that's the other thing. They might have better color accuracy. And if you watch my video on this one, 92% sRGB. I got 71 or 72% Adobe, and then 71% P3. And then, of course, we did, I think, 65%, something like that, of the NTSC. Not the highest, but still excellent, because you're going to get those punchy colors. And Robert, what? Oh, my God. I have the Remarkable, by the way. I'm going to try to get it out tomorrow for sure. Robert with another $100 super chat. Un-effing believable. Wow, Robert. Thank you. You are unbelievable. Round of applause once again. That deserves two. My wife didn't like how some colors are too poppy on OLED. So, and I mentioned this a little bit in the video. So with an OLED display, and again, let's take a look at it. In an OLED display, you're going to get those really vibrant colors that pop. Not the most color accurate, although 1.99 delta E on this one. I don't remember on this one. 1.99. Anything under 2, to me, is pretty color accurate. The lower, the better. So that was pretty good. Thank you, Robert, once again. And then Sharkfin Tech is here. As Michael's pointing out, didn't see you, must have snuck in. So welcome, Sharkfin Tech. All right, good. So, so the OLED models here really, really coming through. We have 95 of you watching, so thank you, everybody. Let's hit that thumbs up. I think we only have 97. Let's see. We have 70 likes with 97 people watching. People, hit that thumbs up. We want to get that seen by everybody. The red super chat looks very vibrant on the 360, and that is one of the hallmarks, again, of an OLED. In that case, a Super AMOLED display on the Samsung. Would you go with the XPS 13 or the MacBook Pro 13 M1? So it just depends on what you're doing. So here are the pros and cons between the two. So the benefit of a MacBook M1 is you're getting the best chip out there right now. That's the M1 chip from Apple Silicon, of course. Excellent performance, excellent multi-core, excellent single-core, excellent thermals. It's very efficient, excellent battery life. So you can't fault Apple for doing such a commendable job when it comes to the chips. Having said that, the negatives, of course, are some people may not like the bezels on the display. The display is very nice. Not the best display out there, but it's definitely a higher end display. The Retina displays are very good. They're IPS displays. They're not OLED. the other thing about that is you're going to have to take into account, you can't run Windows natively on it. You'll have to run Parallels, which I think might still be in beta or maybe coming soon. So if you want to be able to run Windows applications, you're not going to pretty much do it right out of the box on the Mac. The other thing you're not going to be able to do is upgrade it in any way. You cannot upgrade the SSD, and of course you cannot upgrade the RAM. It's soldered into the motherboard. You cannot upgrade the Wi-Fi card, or you cannot upgrade any of those things with that. The other thing is, if you want to connect to multiple 4K monitors, I think the laptops and the MacBooks are limited by the M1 chip. So I don't know if you can have more than one connected monitor and then have another monitor in addition to your displaying all different things. I think they have to mirror each other, if I'm not mistaken. There may be software solutions around that, but natively out of the box, you can't do it. The other thing is gaming on the MacBook. Really not optimized on these MacBook M1s, of course, although they could run games very well. We just don't have the games on them like you would on a Windows laptop. So those are the pros and cons. The other thing is no external GPUs. If you want to get an external GPU, you'll have to, you can't. So there's no ability to connect to external GPU despite having Thunderbolt ports on that. Now, as far as the Dell XPS 139310, which this is the one I have here, benefits, of course, of this gorgeous OLED display. And to me, this is a superior display. There's no question. It's also a touch display, something you don't get with a MacBook. Although you have the touch bar, you cannot use the touch. It's a nice, just convenience factor to have. No OLED option on the Mac. You do get that on this. You get a higher resolution on this as well. You could get the optional 4K on the IPS as well. This is 3.5K. And you can upgrade the SSD on this. You cannot upgrade it on the Mac. You could also connect to an external GPU thanks to the 2 Thunderbolt 4 ports on this. You can connect to multiple 4K monitors, and you could also connect to one 8K monitor if you so choose. Bradley Cochran with the super chat, $15. Thank you, Bradley. That's a really nice super chat. Thank you. And Robert, it's really quite astonishing how well the M1 chip works. I still only use it for personal things, just not preferable in a business setting for me. A lot of people feel that way, although it is a fantastic chip. There's no question about it. If you're in the Apple ecosystem, there's nothing better, obviously. But if you like ThinkPads, if you like Dells, if you like to be able to upgrade the RAM, not the RAM, yeah, RAM in some cases, of course, and of course the SSD, then there you go. I can't use Mac, according to Fly Guy. Can't use Mac for work or business. See, there you go. And he's in the airline industry, so that tells you a lot about what these bigger industries are using. Can we see the release of the Yoga 14S Pro before winter this year? I don't know. That's a good question. I assume we will. Thoughts on the Asus Slimbook Ultra Slim laptop? This is one I've been looking for, and I reached out to Asus, so we'll see how that comes about. 13.9-inch, 33 by 2200, 3-2, 500 nits. Andy, stay tuned. I reached out to Asus. So we got another super chat from Wayne Ma, 50 Hong Kong dollars. Nice. Yes, the Office suite is definitely different on a Mac than it is on Windows. That's for sure. On the Dell, I guess you'd have to use a hub to connect to multiple displays while plugged in. Well, you have 2 Thunderbolt 3, so if you do get a hub, yes, you can definitely do that. You could daisy chain these monitors as well with Thunderbolt, that's for sure. So there are a lot of options that you get on this, which you won't get on a Mac. Now, this also has a micro SD card reader, and you can see it. Obviously, you can see it there, if I can get into focus there, but... and if I could go here. So you have the SD card reader there. Another thing a Mac doesn't have. So Macs basically have no ports other than the Thunderbolt ports. It doesn't work well, Fly Guy, totally agree. Yeah, Office is definitely better on Windows. There's no question. Would you consider looking at the Dell G7? Yeah, if Dell sends it to me, I'll definitely take a look at it. There's no question about that. Windows laptop, iPad, tablet, and Android phone works best for me. Best of 3 worlds. Love the fact that Dell has a micro SD card reader. Yeah, and don't underestimate that. Don't underestimate that. Especially if you're a content creator, not having a full size is one thing, not having anything is another. At least you get the micro SD card slot. That does play into this, of course. Any chance to show monitor comparison with the X1 Nano, Wayne? So the X1 Nano has also a nice display. I don't know if I have it as handy. Hold on. I'd have to look for it. It's here somewhere, maybe towards the end of the stream. Did I miss the discussion for the Samsung Pro 360? Yeah, we talked about it earlier, Albert. I have it here. It's very good, but there are some shortcomings. I'm a little disappointed on a lot of things. Well, not a lot of things, but some main things. And let me bring that on. I'm a little disappointed in the fact that this doesn't have a place to store the pen. That's one thing. That's not the deal breaker for a lot of people, but it's for me at least. And the other thing with this one, and you can see it here, it's on top of these two, not bright enough as far as the display is concerned. They're rating this at 300 nits. I made 285 or so. Not bright enough. And I think they did that to get really good battery life, and I did get really great battery life out of that. 17 hours on my continuous web surfing test over Wi-Fi at 150 nits, and I could show it here. It's probably a little blown out. Let me bring it because of the cameras. You could sort of see it there. 17 hours and 6 minutes, which is a pretty amazing battery life, but at the expense of screen brightness, which they could have made a little bit more of a compromise and found the middle ground, maybe get us to 7-8 hours or 10 hours, but give us a little bit more, 100 nits of brightness more. Yes, Fly Guy, it is excellent battery life. The battery life on this is fantastic, but again, not bright enough. Too glossy of a display. 16:9 aspect ratio. Not great for productivity work because you can do better with a 3:2 or 16:10. Yeah, the Fly Guy's a great guy, and so are you, Michael, and I'm glad we have a great tech community. How does the keyboard on the Pro 360 compare to Dell and HP? I like the keyboard. In fact, I mentioned it in the video. Surprisingly good. I was expecting this to be super shallow. I actually quite like it, believe it or not. I'm not going to ding them on that. I actually like the keyboard on that very much. So shallow key travel, but it's still, they managed to get good feedback on it, and you don't feel like your fingers will bottom out. Trackpads. Let's talk about John, what he has to say. Trackpads, never-ending topic. Any idea why no PC manufacturer was able to replicate what Apple does? I love so much all these PC machines, but it's frustrating to use them with their trackpads. Well, John, I did notice a pretty good one on the ThinkPad X1 Titanium Yoga that I took a look at, and I also found one, and that was a haptic feedback engine on that, and I also found that the Huawei MateBook X Pro also used a very similar feature like the MacBook. Again, haptic engine, no physical click on that. It's all done by haptic feedback. Having said that, Apple has the best touchpads, bar none. The spacious, they're most responsive, and they've done it right. So there you go. According to Mohammed, Galaxy Book Pro 360 Galaxy Book Pro 360 XPS 2-in-1 or Yoga 6. Which one is best for mobility and battery? Which would be your advice? I like the XPS 2-in-1 personally. I like that one a lot, although keyboard not crazy about. Galaxy Book Pro, I just mentioned the pros and cons on this. And as far as the Yoga 6, it's a good value. So it's just a matter of what you need in your opinion as far as your personal use case scenario. Lethal Emperor, 5 more likes to get to 100. All right, people, hit that like button. Come on. We have, what do we have? 95. Come on. How is the haptic feedback in the touchpad in real life better or worse? On what? On the Mac, it works perfectly. I think they're the standard by which others emulate. On the X1 Titanium, works good. I like it. On the Huawei MateBook X Pro, works fine. I have no issues. I mean, they do the job. I haven't noticed any cons on that, so that's good. You want it to be out of your way. You want it to work and be responsive and not have to stand out as any problems or something. Bear in mind, the 13 and 2-in-1 has solid and non-repairable SSD. So, of course, there are trade-offs with some things, and that might be one of them. Obviously, it just depends. All right, super chat from Handquake. Over an hour, time just flies. I agree, Handquake. Thanks for doing such a great job. And we're at 105 in terms of likes. So, Handquake, we're doing a good job today. All right. We started off a little rough with some technical difficulties. Thanks to Michael for coming on, giving his opinion on the Samsung Galaxy Book Pro 360. We'll definitely figure this out as far as the technical aspect. I feel bad about that, but I value his opinion. We'll definitely have him back on at some point. Okay, Andrew, thank you for the answer. No problem. Killer Wi-Fi 6. Noticed anything special with it? I noticed nothing special, nothing bad, nothing great, just working well as Wi-Fi 6. So it has not been an issue with the killer Wi-Fi 6. Maybe other people might have had, I don't know, but no issues on my part as far as my units are concerned. All right, so we hit 95. Okay. Just checking the stream. Let me just check something real quick while I'm on here. I just want to see how the video is doing as far as the OLED version of the Samsung of the Dell XPS 13. I got so many laptops, it's hard to keep track of what the hell's going on. So we got that's doing well. We got about almost 7,000 views and counting. So that's pretty decent. And the Galaxy Book Pro 360's caught a little fire. It's good. It's starting to gain some momentum. I think we're over 10,000 views now on that, so not bad. All right. What could be the best thermals on any PC laptop compared to M1 Mac? I think M1 Macs have the best thermals, to be honest with you. They've done a fantastic job when it comes to that chip, and its efficiency, its thermals is really good. Interesting, Robert. Excuse me. I was looking at that. Does it have an OLED display too? So what is Robert looking at? Andrew, don't laugh, but my daily driver is the Asus ZenBook 14 2.0 screen. That's a ScreenPad 2.0. Just works with absolutely no issues at all. I agree. I liked it. I think that was the one I reviewed, right, Robert? You like that one. So good. I'm not laughing. In fact, I can say yes, that's a good choice. So Jeff is correct. There are some Bluetooth issues on 11th gen Tiger Lake processors. I got to do more looking. I got to look more into that. I haven't really noticed any, but I don't use all that much Bluetooth mice and so forth. I do use Bluetooth headphones, and I haven't had any issues. So, but I've seen reports of Tiger Lake 11th gen issues with Bluetooth. Does it have an OLED display too? I don't know if it has an OLED display. I know the ZenBook Pro Duo had that OLED last year that I reviewed. That was really nice. So Michael found another advantage of that Samsung Galaxy Book 360. He didn't want to pause and needed to get it one-handed. So I flipped it around, carried it off one-handed. Such a simple thing, but love it. Yeah, I just showed it. You can definitely, you could open it and flip it one-handed. Yeah, I mean, it's a 2-in-1 convertible. You definitely have some versatility with that. Yeah, is that the one we talked about, Robert? Is that the one? Yeah, I reviewed that, right? Is that the ZenBook Duo or the ZenBook with the ScreenPad 2.0? So there you go. Either way. I read my text messages on the 2.0 screen while sending email spreadsheets. It's great multitasking, as I mentioned. No, it doesn't have the OLED. That's right. Okay. Same on Ryzen. I've had tons of issues with Bluetooth accessories. Nothing is perfect. Yeah, so Bluetooth is a very interesting technology. It's a little long in the tooth, no pun intended. Bluetooth's been around for many, many years. So it's a ZenBook ScreenPad 2.0. Great. That's a good choice. I like that. That is nice. That's good. And what works, works. And that's a great multitasking device. All right, got my coffee here. We're now at an hour and 14 minutes, heading into an hour and 15 minutes. We got 109 likes, people. We've got 89 people watching. There you go. Best Buy, according to Fly Guy, Best Buy sold out of the Samsung 360 in all my regional stores. They are becoming popular. Yeah, they're going to sell a ton of these. I have the issues I have, like I said, it's fine. It's got the Core i7 1165 G7. It's got the pen support, but nowhere to store the pen other than magnetically to the lid. Too dim of a display. Beautiful Super AMOLED display. Just wish it was brighter and less reflective. That's my gripes with this laptop. Among a few other nitpicks here and there, but the keyboard I like the beautiful Mystic Blue finish. I think it looks gorgeous. It's thin, it's light, so if you're willing to live with certain compromises, and it also some nice, and I'll show it in the video coming up on this. I like the fact that it also has Samsung software that you can use, the flow, be able to use things like a continuity and AirDrop type features, and I'll talk more about that in the upcoming review. All right, so Robert is saying it's lightweight, easy to carry in his bag and in his backpack while on the plane. Yes, that is good. That's portable. That's what we want. According to NARC, I saw your review of the Razer Book 13, but somebody told me that it arrived for them with the hinge partially off, and another person had a similar issue with this. Wow. I heard some issues with some Razer quality control. I mean, that's not a surprise. We've heard some issues. Hopefully, they'll get that straightened out. So, not good to hear, of course. I spoke with employees in customer service, and they are not getting returns. All right. So people are happy with the Samsung. It's a consumer-based laptop. Hence, they went with the 16:9 aspect ratio. You know, business-focused people want the 16:10. They want the 3:2. But a 16:9 is going to be great for watching movies. It's optimized for 16:9, and it's a beautiful display. If you're not outdoors, if you're not in direct sunlight, and if you are in a dim room, you're fine. But if you're in a brightly lit room and you have a lot of reflections that are going to bother you, this might not be the one for you. It just depends. But the battery life is really good. Wow. So Fly Guy, that is good, Robert. I've seen 2 on board last week. So a lot of love for the Asus ZenBooks there. Any reason why Asus doesn't put a webcam on their G series, or at least some of them? They're gaming laptops, but just to have something would be better than nothing, I guess, right? That's a good point, Michael. Yeah, Robert, I'm glad you got that. That's good. What are you using for the comments on the screen? I'm not using StreamYard, Narc. I'm using Ecamm Live. I may go back to StreamYard to have guests on because this is not working for me on these live streams with guests. Blue and gold, good-looking setup. Yes, I like that blue and gold finish. With that cylindrical look on it. It looks pretty nice, actually, Robert. I like the way Asus put those together, especially that color combination. According to Marshall Jacob, OLED can suffer from burn-in, but most modern displays have mitigation techniques that pixel shift. Yeah, and I see it on these two, or these three, all three of these definitely employ some sort of techniques to avoid any screen burn-in. That's for sure. And I think the technology... And I think the technology has gotten better, right? So it's gotten better. I think it's not like what it used to be a few years back. I think they're making these displays higher quality and more resilient to screen burn. And not to say it is perfect, but I think they're employing these techniques much better. So that's good. All right, so let's see where we are. We're at 1 hour and 19 minutes. I don't think we're going to go that much more, people. I got a lot to do today. The New York Knicks, if you follow basketball, the NBA, are in the playoffs for the first time in like 8 years, so I'm going to watch them later. Hopefully they'll win. They're at Madison Square Garden. They opened up the Madison Square Garden to, I think, 15,000 fans. So things are starting to open up, and that's good. How about those Yankees, Sharkfin? That is correct. Not too momentary. Yeah, no, Sharkfin, anytime anybody wants to talk about the Yankees, Knicks, and New York Football Giants, you're more than welcome. As far as the Yankees are concerned, we had a no-hitter this past week by Corey Kluber, which is fantastic. Garrett Cole got a win yesterday. That was fantastic. I know people probably saying, what the hell is he talking about? I came here for laptops and we're talking baseball. Yankees are doing much better now. That's great. All right. Great live stream. Got to watch the game. Yankees. Yes. All right, Robert. and I'm glad you're going to watch. Also, screw the Yankees, according to Handquake. I take it you're not a Yankee fan, Handquake. Just my guess. Hicks going down is problematic. You know what? He's always hurt, right? That guy is always hurt, so it is problematic. But they got Brett Gardner. He could hopefully fill in. He's a little bit on the older side, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully they'll withstand this injury, but it's the next man up. Anybody who follows sports, it's always the next man up. All right. But overall, regarding the Razorbook 13, you'd recommend it, right? On Amazon in the UK, it dropped down to 1.2K pounds to 800 pounds in 2 weeks. I liked it, and it's using the same display as the Dell, by the way. That same panel, the same IPS Full HD Plus panel that I reviewed is the same one as on the Dell. I do recommend it. And, of course, there's a warranty, and, of course, you could probably return it on Amazon in the UK if you have any issues. I think they have, I guess I would imagine, at least a 30-day return period. So I recommend it. I have no issues recommending it. I thought it was very good, and I'm surprised more people are not talking about it. When am I planning on reviewing the Asus Zephyrus M16? Whenever Asus sends it to me. I've been in contact with them, and there you go. I don't know. Robert, I like you even more now knowing that you're a Yankees fan. All right. All right. The new MSI Creator Z16 looks like a good XPS 15 competitor. Hopefully you'll get to review it. Yes, I spoke to MSI. I'm supposed to be getting that. Waiting on them. What team for you, Handquake? Good question. If you do like any team, let us know. Michael Peppertex asking, how do you feel about the S Pen not matching on the 360? Also, you mean the color? Yeah, it doesn't match. It's like a darker, I think it's darker. It doesn't fit inside the laptop, that's for sure. There's no place to... I don't care. As long as it gets the job done, it looks fine. It's not going to be an issue for me, but some people may like the matching color better. From upstate New York, Robert. Okay. Just don't say Red Sox. Oh, my God. Yeah, well, I'm going to stay away from that one. So, Hawks and 6. What? No. No, I'm not going to give you a coming up for that. Hawks and 6. No, I think it's going to, well, it could. I mean, you got Trae Young. He's a pretty amazing player. And you got Clint Capella, who's a rebounding machine. I could see it, but I don't discount the Knicks defense, and Julius Randle's playing well, so we'll see. But my prediction, I think Knicks in 7. It's going to be a good series, and the Knicks have home court advantage, and we'll see how the Garden at pretty much, or at 15,000 people is going to be pretty amazing, so we'll see. But you never know. It's going to be tough. I mean, to me, this is all gravy because nobody predicted the Knicks winning more than 25, 26 games this year. So we're already in the bonus. Should I sell, Bruno saying, should I sell my XPS 13 2019 for a Surface Laptop 3? Same specs. I like the display on the Dell. I would not do that, but that's up to you. Keyboard's great on that Surface Laptop 3, but I like the XPS 13 display better. Go Brooklyn. So Brooklyn won last night. So the Nets won last night. They're up 1-0 over, who did they play? I forgot. They played the Boston Celtics. So New York, both teams in New York are in the playoffs. The Golden, so he likes the Knights, the Las Vegas Golden Knights. I like the Knights also. I'm not a huge hockey fan, but living here in Las Vegas, seeing a team from ground up, that's a lot of fun to watch. Jeff Mayer, Boston. So there you go. Do you like Boston, Jeff? All right. All right. Oh, so no, you're saying Boston. I'm sorry. Boston is playing the Nets. That is correct. God forbid. No. God forbid. I'm sorry, man. That's blasphemy, right? No. No, I'm a Eugene. I'm born in the Bronx, believe it or not. Born in the Bronx. So I have to be a Yankee fan. All right. Handquake and Andrew, I'm rooting for the Vegas Knights also. Okay, Sharkfin. There you go. Wrong one. I got it. I got to get these labels on. I haven't done it in a while. Please, no way, right? No, don't do that. Bruno, what is Bruno saying? I don't know what Bruno's saying. Should I? Oh, yeah, don't sell your XPS 13. Right, I agree. Jeff, Nets. I'm a Knicks fan, so I can't agree on the Nets. Jets, I'm okay with the Jets. I'm a Giants fan. Rangers, I'm a Ranger fan. And Yankees for me as well. There you go. All right. Laptops are so cheap outside from India. MacBook Pro 13M1, which sells for $1,300, is sold for $2,000. Oh, wow. That is bad. I'm sorry to hear that. Prices for laptops in general are up due to the supply shortage, due to the chip shortage caused by the pandemic. Yoga 7 eye screen wobble while typing. Any 2-in-1 convertible will have some wobble to contend with. I'm out as well. Have a great weekend, everyone. Yes, Rangers. All right. Thank you so much, Robert, once again for the super chat. And I promise that Remarkable 2. I have it done. I just got to release it. Thank you. All right, people. And that is my cue because it's now almost an hour and a half. And it's time for me to wrap things up. So I want to thank everybody, especially the moderators, for doing such an outstanding job. Thank you for Michael Pepper Tech for coming on the live stream. Unfortunately, we had some technical difficulties that came into be, and unfortunately, we'll have to get that sorted out. But thank you nonetheless for contributing in the chat. I want to thank everybody, and I got a lot of stuff coming up. I've been inundated with new laptops, so you don't want to miss it. Hit that subscribe button, people. Make sure you hit that notification bell. A lot of stuff will be coming up. So until next time, I will see you in the next video. Have a great week, everybody. Bye-bye.